Hello, how are you? This is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? So, today I'm going to talk about the confidence. Myself included, I hear often that I don't have any confidence. I wish I had more confidence in me to do this or do that. And I've been there. I literally wasn't really sure that I could do things that I really wanted to do because I had no confidence in it. And this is something that you could grow and continue to aim for something that you really wanted to do and get the confidence through the process of doing things. And a lot of it to do with your limited belief. And also, if you had this limited belief since childhood, you think you as a person have low confidence. But that's not true. That's something that you believe or you're taught to believe to be who you are, which is you have no confidence in you. But everyone has that in yourself, within yourself. It's just how you perceive it, how you look at it. And if you were told that you have no confidence by others, you start to believe that that's what you are, no confidence. And I've been there too, so I literally understand how you feel. And that really limits to your activities and creativities and things that you would do to expand your ability and do things, right? So if you really want to gain the confidence, first of all, it's all within you. You just need to unlock that door and to see that confidence within you. And I find that by doing things new, something that challenges you, something that you've never done before in your life, and you try it, and when you start trying it, it's really scary. And because it's unknown zone and you don't know what's going to happen. And what happens is like you have the full of thoughts in your mind saying, what if I fail? What if I couldn't make it? What if I die? What if I, make mistakes? And I think it's very natural to feel that way because human beings like the routine, like the comfort zone. Human being doesn't like uncomfortable zone, which is scary, which is not safe. So I think it's natural feelings that human being has to protect yourself. But in order to gain more confidence in you, you recognize what you have, which is a natural feeling to have fear and anxiety, worries, right? But you go for it. Yes. So that's the process. That's the shift part. You set apart yourself to the new version of you. And anything you think of could be challenging to you, I recommend you go for it for once in your life. So I had this thought years ago, almost like 3 years ago, okay, I would run the marathon once in my life. So I could say to myself, I've done it. I have done something in my life, in my history, that I've run the marathon, right? So that time I was so busy with my kids, driving and looking after them, doing my job, housework and all that. So I couldn't really find the time to train myself properly. All I had was the sheet of paper, how many distance I need to cover until that day of the race of the marathon. First, I thought, okay, people who run the marathon distance are crazy. Like, how could possibly the human being could stand for that duration of time running? I thought marathon is just for people who are exceeded in their ability, like athletes, special people. That was my another limited belief as well, because I just had no idea. I had no one around me who've done it before. So actually, the friend of mine who talked me into this was training for the marathon and ran it, right? So I was very impressed, and I thought, okay, I will do this just once in my life, one of the challenges, right? So I trained myself, and not knowing what to do properly, I just did it, squeeze my training time in my life. That was crazy, but I thought, okay, I would do it. So I did it, fall through. So the day before the race day, I was so nervous. I had so many thoughts in my head, like, what if I fail? What if I couldn't make it? What if I die? What if, right? And it's an unknown course, unknown place. So I had no friends to run with. I just entered this race by myself. So I went there on that day. I was so nervous and excitement at the same time. So there's so many people, right, on the race, and we go for it. And the last half of the marathon, I literally died. I thought, why am I doing this to myself? Even I paid for this to get the pain, that I was experiencing. My legs were so stiff, they didn't seem like moving at all. But when you look around, there are so many people who are the worst condition than I had. And there are so many senior people who are running, like 70s, 80s, and people who had a crunched back still running, or people who had, cramp in their leg and are still running. Also the audience, prospectors, right, were cheering. So you get those energy on the road, and it really pushes you to go forward and finish it. So I literally dying, but I did cross the finish line. That's 42.2 kilometers, right? After 4 hours plus hours. So that's the time I thought, oh my God, I did it. It didn't matter how crappy I looked like. It didn't matter how awful I felt. But this feeling, that's something that you've done it. You couldn't ask for somebody else to do it for you, do the trainings for you, do the run for you, right? You invested your time, effort, and actually on that race day, you run that distance. So that's something that you have in you. It's like a treasure that you've done your thing. And when you look back, you could say like, oh my God, I've done it. So that's a good way to gain the confidence in you. That's something you really push your comfort zone to get to the other end. So if you are thinking that you want to gain more confidence, try something new that you never done before. For me, this is just one of my examples that I picked in a marathon, but it could be anything else that you come up with. And you fall through and you do it, right? And there are, difficulties along the way, but that's part of the process. And if you even couldn't make it to the end, you still gained the confidence throughout the time because you've done something to push your comfort zone. So that's the big thing that I've done for myself, and something that you've experienced that you could push it. You could have this confidence on the other side, right? And this is something always stay with you. It's just in your own term. And when you start challenging yourself, you will surround yourself with people who are in the same mindset. That's really important too. When you are surrounded by the environment that are suited for your purpose, it really helps you to grow, to gain more knowledge in that field. And you think you're crazy, running the marathon, but when you're surrounded by the people who ran the marathon and train for marathon, all of a sudden you become norm because all of them around you are crazy or crazier. And you see other people's examples and how they, spend their time on a training and hear all the stories, and you think, oh my gosh, there's so many people out there who are so much further ahead. So the life is a continuous journey of learning, and you find out that you never stop learning in any field. It's always somebody above you. There is always somebody advancing you. So you have tons of things to learn. It just never ends. So you just accept that and you start from where you're at. And this is something that I learned, that when you think something you wanted to do that are so impossible, it seems so impossible, right? For me, that was running the marathon. I thought people who do run marathon are crazy. And then you become one of those too at the end. But at first you think this fear, unknown fear, right? And worries and uncertainties. I think when you challenge something, you always face that. And you learn to shift your mindset to just do one step at a time. That's what I've learned. How to finish the marathon one step at a time. So you go forward, right? And at the end, you don't know how long it's going to take, but you will get to the end. You will finish that, distance. So that's how you think about your life too. When you feel like you're stuck, and just one step at a time, you do something different than what you've been doing, and that means you're going forward, and your world will shift. You start to feel it's shifting. When you are in a comfort zone, sure, it's very easy, feel and comfortable. It's good. We need a comfort zone. But if you want to change it, it's not gonna change you, because the way you be doing is just being comfortable and stabilized in that zone, right? So in order to feel this confidence or do something different, you will feel this uncomfortableness first or even longer. But I was told, in order to be successful, you become comfortable being uncomfortable. I hope you hear this, because when I heard this, being comfortable with uncomfortable. So when you first do something, of course you're out of comfort zone and very uncomfortable, uneasy, but you get used to it. You make yourself feel useful. You make yourself feel used to it. So it becomes a part of your routine, a part of your habits. And actually, anything that you achieve something, anything that people who achieve something great, they have just habits of doing things. It's a mundane, boring things, repetition of things. For me, this doing the marathon is the boring, putting distance, running, so many days a week, no matter what the weather is like. And you feel, okay, this is a good day to run, you get energized, but some days you feel so exhausted, you don't feel like it. But you do it anyways because you're committed. It's unnegotiable, because if you don't run today, there's no other days left to cover the distance, so you just do it, kind of mental set. So that's something that you will learn through doing. You learn this by changing your habits, something new habits, right? So changing the habits really is the key to change your life, because your life is a whole bunch of chain of habits. So that's something your plateau of your level will shift when you change your habits, which is not easy to do, because habits is something that you've created for many, many years. To break that, you need a lot of discipline, a lot of repetition, spend time on it. But if you want something greater out of your life or do something different, it's really worth it. It really transforms yourself to the better version of you. Okay, so something that you could think during this time to challenge yourself, and it makes you grow as a person, and of course that confidence level will go up because you have something now in yourself that you say to yourself that, okay, you've done it, I've done it. That's something so, it's like giving yourself a trophy. It doesn't matter what other people think. For some people, running is not their thing. Totally fine, right? Because individuality is so different, right? So anyway, this is just one of my examples that I chose to run, and overall running is good for you. And I started it because I just wanted to clear my head, because my life was so chaotic and busy. That's how I started to run, and now I'm running the marathon. So you just never know how your habit changes and turns your life around. Anyway, so challenging could be very scary, but at the same time very rewarding. So anyway, so I hope if you're wondering how to get confidence, this is one of the ways that I gain the confidence with. So have a great day, and I see you soon. Hello, how are you doing? So this is just a bonus little clip that I thought I would share. So I did my distance. This is the longest distance I've done all by myself. You see, 37 kilometers. I usually run with the buddies, but because of this time, I was isolated and just, I think everybody else doing their own thing, right? So I challenged myself to do the longest distance for this marathon training. I could have just said, no, I don't need to do this because there is no race in the near future. But I just thought, okay, this is something on my plate and I've been training it. So I just do them as if it's just as normal. So this is something that you create your own agenda that you did something. You've done something new and you feel like you did it, right? And it's the process. It doesn't matter if it's not pretty or perfect or the way you wanted, but the end result that you say to yourself that you've done it, you did it, that's the accomplishment that you have just for yourself. And that really strengthens your confidence. And the confidence is all within you. You just notice it's there and you want to strengthen that strength. I mean the confidence, you want to strengthen that confidence by doing something for yourself, something challenging, so that you say to yourself, I did it. Like little kids start to walk, they feel like, oh, I did it, right? So that's how you strengthen your confidence, and it will grow to the grid. And you need a grid to do a lot of things that challenges you in your life. And it's up to you to take that challenge or not. It's all to your decision. But when you go for it with this grid that harvested through your experience, through building the confidence by doing little things a day, little things at a time, it really makes you a new version of you, the best version of you, and you explore yourself to where you just didn't know that you had it. So it's always like opening a present, opening a gift of you, yourself, what you're capable of. And you are capable of a lot of things. You are. You just need to find that out. So this is my way of telling you that the challenge yourself is one of the things to strengthen your confidence. So have a great day. I'm gonna just rest. Okay, bye.